Hi everybody. Well, yesterday I celebrated, but today I cried. Yep, I just watched Montel Williams show, and there was a lady on there. There were a few people on there. I guess they were talking about people who killed someone, and it was his accidental or self-defense, and the punishment that they received. Well, one lady was on there who shot and killed her boyfriend and spent 21 years in prison. And I guess maybe she was just recently released. I don't know if this is a rerun or not, but this is my first time seeing it on Montel. And this lady, like I say, there were reports, she had documentation of where her boyfriend had raped her several times, put her in the hospital several times. Her children had witnessed her abuse. She'd left him several times and moved away from him several times, and each time he found her. And the night that she killed him, and she had moved away, nobody was supposed to know where she was, and somehow he found her, and he came in with a knife, and or at least allegedly, according to her, he came in with a knife, and she thought he was going to kill her, and so she shot him in self-defense, and she was convicted because at that time, 21 years ago, women were not allowed to use domestic violence as a defense. So she was convicted and spent 21 years in prison, and eventually, maybe fast forward 19 years later, after shooting him, a judge or someone sent something out saying that women can now use domestic violence as a self-defense, and they can have retrials. So she was retried and found not guilty. Well, I'm just watching this and just crying, just my heart going out to this lady, and I'm sure not just her, but other women who were involved in domestic violence situations. And this lady had to raise her kids. I think she had 3 kids, had to raise them over the phone, and they had one of the daughters on there, and she was crying, talking about life without her mother. But that just really touched me, It's funny how, me personally, I don't cry that much for myself, but I have so much compassion for people, and especially women, and that, I'll cry at a movie. I'll cry at the drop of a hat at a movie, at a touching movie. I'll cry when I'm watching something on television where someone's in pain, but personally, for me, I don't cry much. But anyways, I'm just, crying rivers of tears for this lady, my heart just going out for her. And like I said, and other women who are involved in domestic violence situations and can't seem to get out. And I can't speak at all about personally, as an expert or whatever about domestic violence. I've never ever been hit by a man, and if you looked at me as if you wanted to hit me, I would be gone, or you would be gone. But my heart really goes out to women involved in those situations and seem like it's hopeless and they can't get out. So I'm not here to speak on as an expert at all on domestic violence, but what I did stop by to say is that women, when you first meet a man, like I said, I can't speak to your situation once you're already in it, other than to say please find help and try to get out. But I can speak to the situation of when you first meet crazy. There are signs, there are signs when you first meet crazy. And like I said in one of my other videos, stalker versus stalkish. When you see crazy coming across the street and go the other way, because many of these men who perpetrate domestic violence against women, there are signs immediately when you meet them, or at least within the first couple of weeks. There are often signs, maybe not always 100%, but a great majority. There are signs. There are signs when someone is too possessive, and we think it's cute, but it's not cute when a man is so possessive. It's not cute when a man has a radar on you 24/7 and you can't do anything without him knowing your every move. You know, it may feel cute, but it is not cute. When a man displays a temper towards you, or even towards other people or family members. You know, sometimes initially when you meet a man, he doesn't display a bad temper towards you because he knows that if he did that within the first couple of days or couple of weeks, you probably wouldn't go further with the relationship. But if you see him having a temper towards strangers, or road rage on the road, or a temper towards his family, and he's calling his mom a B, you know, those type things, those are signs. Those are truly signs that you're dealing with crazy, and you're dealing with someone who could be potentially violent towards you. You know, so it is not cute when you're dealing with a man who has a bad temper, and he takes that temper out on other people. You know, and sometimes we think, well, he doesn't hit me. But if he's acting like that towards other people, and especially towards his mom or his sisters, or towards his ex, you know, a lot of times a man has been violent with his ex, and you know this, but you think you're going to be different. If a man was violent with any woman, he's not going to be different with you, unless there has been a major change, and I mean a spiritual change in his life. You know, so when, you know, when a man does little things, you know, that, let's say, that potential, you know, beginning of being violent with you, verbal abuse. You know, verbal abuse is often the beginning, or it could, you know, is often the beginning to domestic violence. You know, you say, well, he doesn't hit me. Well, if he's calling you names and putting you down, then that's almost as bad. So that's just, you know, like I said, my 2 cents. I'm no expert at all on domestic violence, because again, I'm not having it. I didn't see my mom, you know, my dad wasn't like that. My mom and dad been married 42 years. My dad is not like that. My mom wouldn't be having it. You know, my sisters were not involved in that, so I can't speak, you know, as an expert on that matter. But I do know my heart really goes out, and my compassion and my empathy go out to women who are victims of domestic violence. And like this lady on television on Montel this morning, don't wait until he's put you in the hospital. Don't wait until you have to self-defense, resort to self-defense, you know, because the outcome, you don't know what the outcome may be. You know, you don't know if you will end up spending years in prison just trying to protect your life or trying to protect your child. And then that's a whole nother video if you're having your children see that, and children repeating that same behavior that they saw in the household. That's a whole nother video, you know, having children having to witness domestic violence and having to live a life of fear every day, you know. So ladies, if you see crazy coming, please cross the street and go the other way, because a man who's prone to domestic violence, it is not cute. And we don't have to have a man to complete us. We only want a man to complement our lives, not have to complete our lives. Y'all be blessed. I love y'all.